Insomniac Games has 3 irons in the fire. Helldivers 2 is coming to Xbox, and legacy game franchises. Should they retire? All this and more on this episode of FukaPod, coming up right now. What's good, squad? Welcome into another episode of FukaPod, a Fukaname product. Find us all across the web at Fukaname, P-H-U-C-A-N-A-M-E. Check out our other episodes on our podcast. Follow us, rate us 5 stars so we can continue to bring these squad vibes to you. Here with the usual squad specs. Squad, introduce yourselves and where people can find you on these interwebs.
Word. What's good, y'all? I'm going to get it poppin'. This is Cornered Fox, a.k.a. One Speed Wanda. Welcome to the show. I'm going to start this off by saying Death Stranding 2 is Game of the Year. Shout out to Hideo Kojima. Cornered Fox is more dangerous than a jackal. And you know what? This is going to be a real good episode, and as much as I can, I'm going to just throw Death Stranding 2 in here. Because don't nobody seem to want to talk about it, but that game is a work of art. I want to make sure everybody knows it, so that's it.
Alrighty. I'm going next, I guess. One true noob here. I pop in, I pop out. But
you pop
still
on the show,
creator
niggas?
of the Order
Sure.
Sanctus. We're just
Right.
taking a new route there, but you'll be hearing more about that very soon. We're going to definitely get that up and going, but socials are still under work, but I'm glad to be here.
I thought the socials was like the Order Sank and stuff like that on Instagram.
Yeah,
and
we're
everything.
we're
Okay.
building. Pardon our guest.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
Damn, get off his nuts.
hey man, I want to see the. I thought they had the socials already. So. Oh, they had socials already. You know what I'm saying? I plug that in every time. So.
Hey, I'm loving it, Frosty.
Yeah. Sorry about that. To everybody listening, you know what I'm saying? It's your boy Wavy God. That's the voice you're hearing right now. I was a little bit late in the introduction and everything like that, but you got another good show for y'all today. Of course, you know it's a sneaker lover, anime watcher, video game player, man. Everything starts to come out the year that, like, you know, life is crazy. So, but yeah, so, you know what I'm saying? We have a good episode for y'all today. A lot of stuff has been happening in the industry. Stuff that we've been talking about before the podcast, and probably stuff we're going to be talking about in future years to come. So, y'all sit back and relax, man. We got a good show for y'all today, so.
To piggyback on what you said, Wavy, everything has a long-term effect, especially when we're talking about politics. Gaming is politics at this point. It very much is. It's very much affecting how we enjoy ourselves. But
because gaming got so popular, that's why. You know.
Yeah. No. I mean, no. I mean, yes, but no. Like, gaming has always been about politics. Gaming has always been telling us about what's going on in our surrounding world. If you really play the right game, you know.
Oh yeah, of course.
People are violent because of gaming, according to the Senate and the House.
And we have a whole episode debunking that. Okay, you know, we have a whole episode debunking that theory. You know, a couple seasons back. Go ahead and listen to it.
The Violence Factor sandwich. Y'all listen to that. You know what I'm saying?
But I will say that with how games are more modern now, and you can tell more in-depth stories and immersive stories because of the advent of graphics and all those things, they can get even more political even than ever before. You don't got to look as much. You know, you don't have to try and figure out, you know, what Donkey Kong was trying to say. You know, but The Last of Us will tell you straight up what's going on, right? Or something else might tell you exactly what it is with Hollywood actors in it. You know what I'm saying? So
that's the budgets get
subtle.
super high.
Huh?
I said that was subtle.
Yo, that is just what it is now. I mean, you could tell different stories. You know, at the time with the arcade, like, you could only tell certain stories with Space Invader. Now, like, you can tell.
What was the story on Space Invaders? I want to know. What was the story on Space Invaders?
I don't know.
Invaders came from space.
Right, exactly. Yeah, what are you talking about, right? But then now, right, you got Mass Effect.
That you don't need excessive force against every alien that approaches your solar system.
Really, Space Invaders about excessive force?
No,
really? Oh,
but
okay.
you know, it's a joke. It's jokes joking there.
Right,
But
right.
like
that's like those social media posts that are like, people argue about everything. Here's a cup of water, and in the comments people are crazy. Like, well, why isn't it a glass of water? Why you say cup? You know?
that cup dirty. I don't know where that's been.
Right. Is that even tap water? Like, what what are we doing here?
If it ain't Fiji, I don't want it. Shout out to not to brand that one.
That's where you lose me when you start doing shit like that. Fiji.
Look, it's very direct. I'm just using that as an example. But anyway, we're talking about examples there. But overall, like that could lean towards what we were talking about a little bit before the podcast, as far as games that kind of feed you the information versus like digging a little deeper into finding the message that the game or developer meant for you to find if you gave it a little more time to just cook in the back of your noggin. But that's another thing as well.
It's true. A lot of games like that.
Yeah, when you think about it later, what that really meant, it just hit you a little later, and you might not have caught it when you first played.
Pikachu meme out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we got a couple news bites for you guys, and then two main topics that have happened like over the summer since we last did our episode reflecting on the halfway point. Shout out to Wavy and myself, just covering that aspect where we have been, and now we're talking about where we've gone since then. First point on the news, according to a post on Insomniac social media, they have 3 games planned for the near future, one of them being the teased Wolverine game. What do you guys think the other 2 games are supposed to be? A lot of people comment on our threads, they hope it's not another superhero video game. Other people hope that it is another superhero video game. But what do you guys think the Insomniacs are cooking?
I would assume one of them is a new IP, and then the other one would be a superhero game. Maybe they.
I won an Infamous, but hey, whatever, that's fine.
Infamous would be nice to continue. That would be good to continue.
It would
but let me tell you what would be even better to continue. Ratchet and Clank. Okay.
That would be great, actually.
Ratchet and Clank.
Shout out to Keymoy who posted. I remember that post that he put in that what he put in that post. So shout out to Keymoy. He did say he would like another Ratchet and Clank too. And
you can never give me too much Ratchet and Clank.
That's true.
Platforming, amazing, beautiful blend of comedy and action and shooting and all this great stuff. Beautiful. That's what we need. That's what we need.
That's what's going to bring the world together. Yes. Another Ratchet and Clank.
Honestly, I thought that Astro Boy was gonna, but
Astro Bot.
Sorry, Astro Bot.
Astro Boy.
The anime podcast.
right. Here I am.
Shout out to Astro Boy.
Shout out to Astro Boy, though. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So, but what was the last Ratchet and Clank? It was like that came out
Rift
a few
Apart.
years ago.
Rift Apart. Which was amazing.
Right. So either that would see like a possible upgrade or a new game.
New game.
Just
gotta be a
new game.
Give me a new game, yeah.
Gotta be.
As long as it doesn't go the way of Banjo-Kazooie and some of those other ones.
Well, I mean, at the same time, Ratchet.
Been there,
the formula was there for Banjo.
Yeah, but Ratchet and Clank has lasted 3 times as long.
Right,
as
a long time.
That is true.
A much larger library.
From PS2 all the way till now, you know what I'm saying? So
it's comparable. At least
hear you.
For me, every time I hear Ratchet and Clank, I think about the parallel of Naughty Dog's Jack and Daxter.
Oh yeah.
For how many titles? For how many titles? How long it's kind of gone, and the cult following that each has.
And it did have way more, and people did want more Jack and Daxter. Like, if you would have said Naughty Dog, I would have immediately said Jack and Daxter. I said, give me, you know what I'm saying?
They still want Jack and Daxter.
I still want Jack and Daxter.
We've been asking for a while.
I had to confirm it, but where's Spyro?
That was my other.
They had
thought.
the Reignited trilogy a couple years ago.
Say they did
But I mean, we do want another one though. We definitely do want another one though.
I don't think that the Spyro gameplay scales. Like I don't know that it is. I mean, I think there's a following, but like Ratchet and Clank is, and honestly, Jack and those are better platforms. Like Spyro's great. Like
I was gonna say, in a good timeline, we get either, I'd say, Ratchet and Clank, Wolverine, and a new IP.
I'll take another Spider-Man.
Well, Spider-Man 3 around the corner. You know what I'm saying? At some point, I would be surprised if they never made a third. Like, you know what I mean?
They'd have to,
right?
I mean, we've got certain Spider characters that they haven't even touched on yet. So,
not to spoil. Not to spoil, but like we're playing for 2. Everybody dead. What villains are left? I mean, really, for real. What villains are left? Everybody dead. Kraven wiped out a lot of them. Like, you know what I'm saying?
what they should do is kind of like what I said they should do NBA 2K, or just make like a 2K and keep updating it. They need to just make like a Spider-Verse game. They need to make a Spider-Verse game, and they already have the mod that was that modded gameplay that was supposed to be in Spider-Man 2 to have online and like be swinging around the joint with other people.
Right.
All they need.
Keep talking.
Hey, that's funny because I just watched Pacific Rim yesterday, and Idris Elba has said to the dude, he was like, shut up to the other dude. He was like, you keep talking.
You keep talking.
Anyways, but yeah, like I see a Spider-Verse game where you play as somebody, and then you have an online mode where you can pair up with 2 other Spider people and have missions that you do PvE style, like swing around the city, bro. That personally, I would love that. I think that's great. In style of
where's my card at? Where's my money? Hold up.
Not everything has to go PvP online, but well, not PvP. It would be PvE, but like
I think purely PvE.
I'd rather just be like the regular single player game it's always been.
Right. You say you rather the way it's always been?
Well, that's why I think it should be a mode.
Oh yeah.
I think it should be a mode. I think it should be like a mode where you can like go online, like GTA and then GTA Online. Like I think you should be able to.
Because I think Gotham Knights tried to do something like that, where you played as each of the.
Gotham Knights did.
Yeah, you can only be one of the 4, not all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like, you know, like not to bring it up against like the Marvel Avengers game. Initially, you could only be one of the particular. Like, if Iron Man was taken or if Black Widow was taken, you can't be them. So they updated it later where you could have a whole team of Black Widows. I don't know why you necessarily want to do that, but like you had the option later. So I imagine, like, say with Sonny's point, that you could all probably be like they had that idea. You could all be a Peter Parker variant, or like a Miles, or Ben, or Silk. You know what I'm saying? Or Gwen, like.
Silk, give me Gwen. You know what I'm saying?
You know, like if you meet other, and you know, like you all might do. Everybody would do the meme. If you meet in a hub and you see a bunch of Peter standing around, they're all like this. You know, that'd be great. You know, like some type of spider hub. You know,
that's where my camera was.
You know, like so that would be a great opportunity. That'd be very interesting opportunity for like a Spider-Verse type of multiplayer for Spider-Man.
Speaking of multiplayer, we've got a certain democracy heading game that's coming to Xbox.
That was smooth. That was really, really smooth.
I love the transition. I know how to do it.
I don't understand. I feel bad now. I feel like I'm ruining it because I didn't.
For democracy. For democracy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you were actually
So late.
I'm slow.
Yeah. So to tie into noobs. Well, to tie into One True News point, Helldivers 2, the critically acclaimed $40 at first game that came out in 2024 that set a lot of expectations very, very high for affordable games for very, very engaging experiences, is coming to Xbox. Initially, it was only PS5 and
Steam.
Mm-hmm. It's now coming to Xbox as of August 26th. I think pre-orders have already started. I know a friend of mine that plays Xbox. I told him about this, and he asked me the other day which one should I get, as far as like there's like offered a basic version and a like the premium version where you get, I guess, the war bond and stuff like that. In the game, you can buy, you know, the other weapons or whatever. Some of them are locked behind a paywall, but you generally can have fun with what they give you. Pretty decent model, buying it first, and then a couple dollars here and there for like a couple extra weapons if you really want to have a fuller, more richer experience for like the harder levels. But you know, overall, I'd say they did a pretty good job with this title.
They definitely did have I think that one of the greatest things about this game is how they have the real time, very D&D type campaigns that go on, where it shifts players across different planets. And, of course, China got mad because Shanghai fell. But they were also, I think, one of the highest count of players that were defending Super Earth. So they had immense pride about that. And, of course, our own politicians here in the States who valiantly held Malevolent Creek when that was still going on. So... yeah. So
that's what I wanted to say. Arrowhead Studios. Just I want to make sure I point out the companies that are behind some of these games, and like a nod to other games that we know
it'll-
that are an affordable price by another company.
It'll be
No.
a good bump in players, and
It'll
think
sell
Xbox
well.
will-
They needed the bump in players.
Yeah,
It'll sell
they will
well on
definitely have
Xbox.
it.
Cause they were talking
they-
about that when it first came out. Like,
they
where's it on
lost.
Xbox and stuff like that. So,
Well, they also lost like several, like
oh, did they?
100,000 players. Like they lost a lot of players.
I mean,
Yeah,
players move
I'm-
on.
I haven't
Heard
played
the-
in a
heard
while,
this came out.
you know.
I heard about Mecha Break too, actually. And Mecha Break
Mecha
just
Break,
came out.
ooh, shout
Heard
out
that
to
just came out.
Mega Break. I've heard a lot about it.
shout
But I
out
heard
to
that-
Kadeem, Trap, and Urban Sama. I watched the stream on Twitch. They were playing Mecha Break, and it looks very beautiful. Shout
It
out
does.
to
I did play the
Kadeem, Trap,
demo and it was
Urban
good
Sama.
and stuff like that. But I've heard I went on a Reddit post today, and it was just on Steam. I don't know about other console, other platforms.
It's on
but apparently
Steam and Xbox right now.
Yeah, but apparently they lost like I think 60% of their users already.
Oh dang!
Apparently, I don't know if that's. I mean, that's what I saw on a Reddit
Games are
post. So.
fads, man. They're fads.
I that's the thing. I want to feel something when they talk about, that in the movies and the games where they have severe drop-offs like that. I'm like, y'all realize that our attention spans, now that we have so many screens in front of us, is like that. Like,
Yeah.
I think
Also
Power
very
World,
true.
honestly, had the best statement about that, where they were like, guys, you can go play other games. Like, it's,
I do think-
games surge. They just do.
I do
It's
think
true.
player count is an inflated.
It's an important metric, but
But
I do
it-
think, like you just said, Cornered, I think it's a inflated one that people talk about, because it's like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
60% of people didn't go see Superman after the first weekend. I'm like, yeah, because people have
Right,
seen
because
it.
people's seen it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
people have
Like
seen
it
it.
depends on the game. Like it was like that with Black Man Full Con. They were like, oh, all these people stopped playing Black Man Full Con. Like
It's a single player game.
You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a game that they are expecting you to play seasonally over and over and over again over time, that's a different story. Then player count kind of matters,
Yeah.
because we're planning to support
Some-
this game.
Something like
month of every
Rivals
year.
or Monster
Yeah.
Hunter or Helldivers 2 or something like that, where you have
That's
a
that's
bunch
why
of
I thought it was
games.
relevant. Because
Yeah, no,
Helldivers
you're
2
right.
is that type of game.
Yeah.
And we even squatted up on that game. We
Yeah.
did. There was a point
little
where it
bit.
was hot. It was
Yeah.
hot for a while.
Yeah.
And then we was like,
For like a month, maybe 2.
right.
Hey, you served your term, Super Citizen.
Hey, also,
serve your time.
random side note, Wavy. Oh my God, what was that game that we had played on Xbox that was just so bad that they tried to revamp? Oh my God,
Redfall?
with the
Oh,
robot
Anthem?
Iron Man, Anthem at the server.
Anthem.
Oh,
Yeah, the
server
servers-
shut
the servers
down
is
this
turned
week.
down.
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Is it this week they shut
not
down?
not to interject anything else.
Yeah, within the last couple of weeks. Yeah, like they
We were
finally
talking
shut
about
them
player
down.
drop-off.
Recently shut them.
Because I remember looking at, I remember seeing a post about that too, a rumor about that too. I didn't know like when it will. I forgot about the actual date is going to happen. Was this week is going to happen?
Oh, well, it's like
Soon
technically
enough.
no. Excuse me. Shutting down the Anthem servers on January 12th, 2026.
Oh,
All
so
the
we got like
money-
another 6 months.
All the money keeping them servers up, we could have had free healthcare. You know what I'm
So-
saying?
EA has already
Wait a
has already
minute.
stopped selling.
I'm
EA has already stopped selling in-game premium currency, but existing currency can still be used until the servers go offline. The game will become unplayable as an online-only game in January of next year. So enjoy it
I
for your
wonder.
time if you really like it still.
When did that game come out again? Did it last 10 years?
No,
That game had one of the biggest hype campaigns, and
It
came
did.
out and was butt.
It wasn't a bad game. It's just that it wasn't no end
But
game.
it
That's
just
really what it
wasn't a good
was.
It released.
know.
It released in February 22nd of 2019.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
2019. Okay.
Didn't even make it 10 years. Man.
That game didn't make it one. That game after the first wave,
But that was the
there,
that's
we were
where
at
the
the
meme
beginning.
came from.
We were there at the
We
beginning.
were there at the beginning.
Yes. And no one else bought it but us for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, we were the only two people online ever. No, I'm just playing. But nah, but it was the game
Hey,
was okay.
still
It
lasted
was-
longer
it was-
than Concord.
Shots fired, shots landed.
Right.
Shots landed.
Ooh.
Keep
Yeah.
Shots ricocheted and everything.
Right. They caught us
Critical.
That wasn't even a stray. That was aimed right at them.
That was what's
Kilimanjaro.
What did Concord even do to deserve that stray? That was the type of stray I'd be taking at Eric about. Right,
you know.
That was just I respect it. That was respectable.
Overkill.
Hey, I'm just
still better than Concord.
Telling truth, but just to confirm that on the Mecha Break piece, that since its launch on July 2nd, a 60% drop on the player base within the first week, and framing that up overall. So that, again, like to your point, Sonny, about a game that's designed to have longevity, PvP shooter, you're supposed to be able to improve, buy your mechs, upgrade your mechs, play with other players, engage, fight other players. But to the point is, how long were you expecting it to last after a while, like with maybe no new modes? After a while, you're going to be tired of facing maybe the same people over and over again, unless you're really a competitive person like that. To be playing something on a regular basis like that. Peaked at 132,000 players at launch on Steam, and saw a steady decline even over the weekend, raising concerns about its long-term sustainability as a free-to-play title.
Played on Saturday.
But what did make
on Saturday, on my day off.
But what did make a resurgence? Battlefront 2.
It did. I don't know how.
It needs to be studied, bro. I know.
No, I know exactly what.
Because it's Star Wars. Okay.
Yeah, well, it's Star Wars. A.
And what else?
And B, even though I'm counting on my fingers. B, Andor. Andor really.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I'm still
Andor
not done.
Really drove people back to it because they wanted to live in the world again.
So shout out to Games Radar title with Mark's point for the writer. I've spent 11 hours fighting AI in EA's Star Wars Battlefront 2, and here's a key point here, boys, taking me back to the glory days of PS2 skirmish modes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a good game. It's good. We spent a lot of time.
We spent a good couple months on that joint.
Yeah,
we did.
Nice. Yeah. Shout out to the Battle of Hoth. I loved it.
Yeah.
But the key term there is like
Roger.
Somehow in this age of PS3, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X, Steam, PC, why is PS2 still in my mouth?
I don't know.
That's not.
But take it out. I don't know. What's going on?
You know what I'm trying to say? The fact that the writer said it took them back to PS2 you still PS2 still here. Like you still talking about we talking about PS2 still?
Because Battlefront 2
have a nostalgic buzz,
right?
The golden age.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like
the golden age when
you're
we
trying
when we didn't have jobs, when we had time to actually play games.
Preach.
When games hold on, I can keep going. When games actually were made to be completed.
Oh my Lord.
And we didn't have these these grand plans to have a game keep going. You know what the grand plan was for a game? It wasn't keeping it going for 10 years. It was for making sequels that incrementally made the game better.
Bars.
That's why we had. That's
what we had. God of War, you need no update. You need
God of War 1. God of War, a Ghost of Sparta.
Patch, and update.
God of War 2, God of War 3, God of War.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Yes, I get and this gets more into gaming philosophy than news, but I get the fact that releasing a game that is working and then updating it so that it becomes better and better based on player feedback is definitely a thing. However, it's when you release an incomplete game and then just kind of update it to try to keep it going for a long time, with the way the gaming industry is right now, you can't keep players' attention spans that much, especially with stuff coming out like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, literally, gamers or the gaming industry, I should say, is fighting for the scraps, which is our attention span, which is already
squirrel.
Yeah, which is already fried. Even at our age.
And also, it has gaming and all media has progressed to this point to where back years and years ago, we were we expected the industry to give us stuff that was heat. You know, give us heat. Right now, we need to do our due diligence to find heat to support.
Because there's so
seek
much
it
of
out.
it. It's like
Exactly.
watching
It's oversaturation. Anime, film, books, everything. It's like now there's so much.
Yeah.
Now you need to go find what's good because everything that they throw at you won't be quality.
I slipped.
You gotta search for it because if gaming is going to become more expensive in a luxury pastime, then yeah, what I'm going to be spending 70, 80, 90 bucks on better be, as you say, heat. There's a reason that yes, I spent $70.
No arguments for me, bro.
$70 on Monster Hunter, and I'm still playing it now because I'm just like, look, I spent $70. I'm going to get $70.
Are you still having a $70 good time?
I am personally.
Okay.
It definitely has performance issues and whatnot, but I mean, and I think their update should be in a shorter time window, but I'm still having fun. But that's also because I have friends that I play with, and playing with them is fun. That's
people
awesome.
you know, people you know, people people you know in real life, people you've met online, mix of the two.
Mm-hmm. These guys I know
have
on
friends.
Right.
No, I've known these guys. I mean, one of them's my brother, so I've known him for a long time.
You know, some people just met their brother, but that's.
Whoa.
But look, hey, look. You know, some people like for real, you know, but I see your point. But the mix is that there are people you know in real life, but how many other people have you actually met online that you've never met in real life that you consider a friend?
There is one person that I have met online that I've never met. No, two that I've met online and I've never actually seen them, but I still game with them to this day.
Yeah.
And it's probably been like one of them has been like a 10+ year relationship. The other one I think is about 2 or 3 years.
Oh man, there was a funny video about this. Oh, I wish I shared it, man. It was like this girl went up to her man and she was like, "Oh, like this girl didn't remember my birthday. We're not friends anymore." And then he was like, "Oh, really? Like just over that?" And he was playing video games with his boy. He was sitting right there. And then she was like, "What about y'all? Like y'all wouldn't get off over that?" And he was like, "I don't even know his birthday." He was like, "I don't even know his last name. I don't even know his middle name." And then she was like, "How long have y'all known each other?" Like we've been boys since kindergarten. It's all good, huh? It was so funny. I was like, "Yo, that's how it is."
Dude,
that is how it is.
You know, and it's I know this is a sidebar, but it's a deeper level of trust and commitment. Where with gaming, you have that gaming friend, you just know them as their gamer tag, and you just know them. But it's different when you get to that level where you actually learn their real name, their last name, and albeit their social media page where you see they got married, got a new job, went through a life hardship, like, you know what I'm saying?
Man, I still miss my Destiny 1 squad. I still miss them. I miss those people genuinely. Those were good people. We would talk. Everybody after work had the same thing. I was in grad school at the time. Everybody after work had the same agenda. After work, everybody's getting online, talking about the day, their lives, everything. It was beautiful. Bonding over Destiny 1. We had a whole clan called Bunny Squad that I left for another squad that just did not get it done. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But anyways, but now like,
shout out to abandoning friends.
Yeah, right. Shout out to abandoning like people I didn't know. So I thought I was gonna have a good time with people I did know. Guess what? It'd be a day ones, man. I swear. Anyways, it's all good.
Yeah.
I wasn't even talking about you, to be honest, though. I was really.
I know who you're talking about.
Desert Skies.
I know who you were talking about. I didn't see. I didn't want to say their name.
I knew to his face. It's okay. I tell him. I told him already.
Yeah.
By the way, anybody hear about Marathon? What's going on with Marathon these days?
So the voice actress for Anya. No, but to go back to your point, to Noob, with Bungie, which is another conversation about legacy gaming companies, and changes in leadership, changes in personnel, changes in quality, changes in times. From the outside, we just know what's reported on. There probably is far more that may have happened, but from what we do know, and the content creators that do get the information, and journalists that follow up on the information. We're talking about like the possibility of plagiarized imaging that was scattered throughout the game, taken from a Twitter user that designed logos. We're talking about just the changes in, overall promotional. I think if anything, it was the promotional material. It was the fact that they're trying to drop another Concord-like game, like looter shooter, drop in, get your stuff, drop out game. So it's kind of like y'all trying to drop it to a market that again is another oversaturated thing, and it's possibility that not all the imagery is yours by legality, and you're having financial issues already.
The morality over there can't be all that good, especially after 2 really big layoffs, and then just the last few Destiny, I want to say DLCs, but just kind of like the packages that they've released have
DLCs
been met with, DLCs have not been met with great praise, but
ironic though, thinking about it, that they released these recent Destiny iterations as like not seasons, but they were seasons, but they released them. I forgot what they rebranded them as, but I was talking to someone recently, and I said basically just call them what they were, like the DLCs of old, like the Dark Below, the Wolves DLC, that kind of stuff. Like you just rebrand and say, oh, we're coming out with Destiny stories, and it was like a packaged storyline with a couple extra game modes or whatever. I was like, that's the DLC model that y'all had before. You're just trying to repackage it to say it's something different, but it's exactly the same. You might as well have just said we're bringing back the DLC model. That would have probably been like, that's more honest than trying to say this is a new mode. Oh, episodes. That's what it was. Called episodes.
That reminds me of Spartan Ops in Halo 4. Because that's basically what that was, kind of.
That extra mode when you had to protect Halsey, and you were like, yo, I remember that, dude. Like,
yeah, dating myself.
Shoot, now I'm dating us. We played that, you know what I'm saying? Like, Halo 4 was like, let's see what y'all finna do. I remember I'm 343. I was like, let's see what y'all finna do. And it was a good package. I liked what Halo 4 was. You know what I'm saying? Like, following up Halo ODST or whatever. Not ODST. Reach.
Yeah.
I think because Reach came out after 3, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Reach was after 3, yes.
Yeah, so that was Bungie's final title with Microsoft, and they dipped to do Destiny, and 343 picked up Halo 4. So, and now, and I know this is on the notes, and the Wavy will probably jump on it when he comes back. 343 is now rebranded as Halo Studios, which is again under Microsoft, which is another conversation that we keep talking about. Microsoft still, we still keep talking about Microsoft as a group. Like, this is crazy. All under y'all hat. Like this, the other thing, like.
We haven't even got there.
We haven't even gotten there yet. And then we already still talking about how that bleeds into all this, right?
But I mean, if you want to go into Microsoft, we can.
Well, two more points. Two more points. I know, depending on how we fall back on it.
There's a really funny video about Halo Reach that I had just shared amongst us. We kind of play it or something. It's from the Ego Raptors Awesome series from years ago.
Oh yeah,
Ego Raptor. Oh, dude.
I do know that video.
We'll probably share that on our social media or something.
Halo Reach.
It is.
We'll probably share that on our threads or something. Shout out to that.
Oh my! Yes, we should share it on the thread. But anyways, yeah.
I mean, the two other points I'll say for gaming, and we'll get into the one title before, one subject line before we get to Microsoft and really talk about that. Final Fantasy IX's remake, possible issues. Square Enix, I guess, will be behind all that, and we're just, I guess, trying to see where that might go. Following the mild success of the remake titles for Final Fantasy VII, I just think for me personally, I'll say this, I'm on the type of time that Final Fantasy should just kind of retire.
Excuse me?
Really?
I think Final Fantasy should
That's a
retire because there's so
huge
many other titles like it now.
Stop
like we're
it.
talking Metaphors, we're talking Expedition 33s. I'm just saying, like, unless you're going to adapt.
That's just like saying though that. Like,
That's what I think. I
Pokemon
could be
should-
wrong. I'm not saying my
That's
opinion
saying
is right
like,
or
Pokemon
wrong.
should retire though,
Oh,
just
it's wrong.
because there's other RPGs. Like
Yeah.
That's just like saying,
I would say that about
Call of
Pokemon,
This one
too.
RPG,
Call of
though.
Duty should stop because there's all these other first-person shooters. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I feel that way too.
No, you can't have a one size.
This is a
fit
hot
all.
take. This is. I think this is a hot take.
This is spicy.
I know. I realized that with y'all's reaction to all three of the points that y'all made.
I
You know what?
think
You know
this is a
what? Corner, you go
spicy
first.
take.
You go first, Corner. You go.
Sure, gladly. I mean, you need a better reason than that to stop. Honestly, like you need a better reason than that. I mean, you can't just say stop it because there's other competitors coming.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think that's a reason to stop. I think you're right. It does have to adapt. It does have to evolve. It does have to grow. And I think that's where we see some games, like, if they become stagnant over years, then I think they fall off. We saw what happened to Assassin's Creed. That lasted a long time. That was a trendsetter. But guess what? Ghost of Yote, better than Assassin's Creed is probably ever going to ever be again. And that's
Yeah.
perfectly fine because they didn't do what they probably should have done. They got too formulaic and too iterative, right?
And that's I think the key. The key
That's the
is
key.
not the key is not that that one size should fit all. The key is that I think Final Fantasy and like Assassin's Creed and some of these other games have lost what makes them unique among the RPGs.
That's right.
I know that they're not RPGs, but like
They are. They are. You're playing
Well,
a
let's
character's life.
Well,
Look,
sorry,
Persona-
I said Assassin's Creed, and then I said also Final Fantasy, so I was bridging genres there. But what I meant is that they've lost their identity as to who they are within their respective genres, right? So you've got, among single player games, you got your God of Wars, you got your Horizon Zero Dawns, you have your Assassin's Creeds, you've got your Legend of Zeldas, even now.
Yep.
But like, what makes them unique, of course, is their world, and then also how they play and how they engage the player. Yes, I think Final Fantasy simply needs to adapt and evolve, but maintain its own identity to make it unique from the other RPGs that are out there. Not that it should just like go away. Like, yeah, no, make another Final Fantasy 16, 17. I don't even remember where they're at.
We're on 17 now.
The next one would
17,
be
yeah.
17. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like, do that, but also don't alienate the audience to try to bring in the new ones. Monster Hunter is having that issue right now, where they've gone so mainstream that they're making things so accessible that they're not allowing players to really struggle with the world and live in it. There's a design difference between having to track the monster, having to actually... A hunter is not just a person that goes up against a boss so that you drain its health bar. That's not what a hunter is. A hunter is somebody that tracks the monster, that learns the ecology, that actually finds out, like, where does this thing live? What does it eat? How, like... And then it learns its weaknesses, it learns its strength, and then adapts to actually take the monster down. That's a hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Of old. Now we have rifles. But, like, that's a hunter.
Yep.
So, Final Fantasy, like, Cornered, what would you say makes a Final Fantasy game unique to other RPGs?
Well, it's changed. I think back in the day, Final Fantasy had a unique formula. Like, that was unique to Final Fantasy. And then
Its art was one of them.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say its style was one of them. And then, over time, other games started to adopt similar things, as they do with trendsetters, right? Things start to follow. But Final Fantasy was still the peak, the pinnacle, so to speak.
Right.
Over the last decade and a half, right? Like, less so. Other games have come out and made really good RPGs in different styles that have been great. Final Fantasy, well, you have summons, you have icons, you got Sid, you know what I'm saying? You know the things that are constant, you know what I'm saying? And cool, those will stay constant. At the end of the day, we just expect a good RPG with good cinematics at this point. I mean, I think the expectation for Final Fantasy is that you give me a good RPG game. I think 15 dropped the ball a little bit because it could have been better. Basically, 14, I thought, awesome.
14 is still going. 14 is the online
14 is
aspect.
still going. And the people who made 14 were also behind 16. 16, I thought 16 was phenomenal. And not because it did anything revolutionary per se. I mean, their combat system was very much real-time combat and much more faster paced, fast twitch muscles kind of combat. But it worked, and it was really good. They did what Forspoken could not do, and actually glue their combat together in a cohesive way. They did that very well done. And the last thing I'm going to say is that they created that world, and they do it in most of their games. They create that world, they immerse you in it. I think 16 did a great job with it because Clive, the GOAT, was a millennial. And because Clive was in his 30s, in his mid-30s, struggling with a hurt back and sore knees, struggling trying to save everybody. And not only that, but Clive was also the strongest Final Fantasy protagonist that there has ever been. And I think those things help your case. They made something exciting. The Clive Bahamut fight was a Dragon Ball fight. That was hype.
Yeah,
I was watching cinematics like, oh my god! Like
I was missing button presses sometimes. That joint was kind of crazy.
Yes, I would literally miss button presses on the QuickTime events because I'm just like, yo,
That's
Bahamut
great.
just shot, Bahamut just shot his, whatever,
The
right?
beam, yeah.
Shooting this crazy beam out the sky, right? And Clive is trying to block it. And I'm sitting there like, this looks just like a, Kamehameha from space that is being, like it looks like this beam battle almost. Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So like, I think they delivered in those moments. That's what 16 did. But that said, I'm gonna make a parallel also, right? You got Sea of Stars, Paper Mario, Persona, Expedition 33 that are really bringing the hype of turn-based back. And turn-based is something that, a lot of people love and are nostalgic about, but they love it's a method of gaming also. It's a type of game. And a lot of people miss it. And I think the challenge has always been, how do we make it something that is good and enjoyable? And Expedition 33's even wasn't perfect. But I think Final Fantasy has so much that it can lean on to make the next iteration of it. It's crazy. Think about Apple. How people are like, oh, Apple, Android's had this for a while. Well, once Apple gets it, then it's big time. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If Final Fantasy 17 does what Expedition 33 does, get the fuck out of here.
And that's the key. Honestly, this should excite us as gamers in the fact that how competition should work. If the new upstarts can do RPGs or a genre of gaming better than the old corporate people that have been in there for a while, then to compete, the people that have been there are going to have to now scale and appropriately make better games to compete with the newer stuff. I mean, if I were Square Enix right now, I'd be sweating after seeing Expedition 33. If I was in the single-player game industry, I'd be sweating after seeing, Black Myth Wukong and seeing what these people can do. If the indies are starting to be able to do stuff like that, then there really is no excuse at this point with the companies with money should be able to put out. But initiatives and people, overstepping and red tape and getting in their own way, that's going to stifle creativity. It's one of the reasons I think Pokemon is getting in their own way right now. You can see there are a bunch of monster tamers that are coming out now, threatening the crown. You see what Pal World did. I'm looking at the new Digimon game that's coming out, Digimon Storytime Strangers. That looks great. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm looking at Legends ZA, but I'm also kind of like, all right, let's see what you got.
So to my point about them retiring, it was harsh. I will apologize on that one.
No, it's fine because I think it's fine. I think what you're really saying is something different. That's why I'm okay. I think, and this is just me. You can let me know if I'm wrong. I think what you're really saying is, hey, Final Fantasy, like, get me excited again. Take me there again. I think that's what you're saying.
Right. Take me back to turning the PlayStation on, Final Fantasy 7.
With a smile on your face. Right.
Like I'm saying, that joint was on the one, and you zoom in on the train, and Cloud flips off the train, and or 10, doing the blitz ball. Orion standing there like this. The city didn't destroy it, and he's just like standing there. It's like, what is happening right now?
And
you
they're
know what I'm
gonna
saying?
have to work for that
I'll
again.
even say for 16 when the demo came out and what initially happened? I think the base got attacked, or did Clive turn into Ifrit first? One of the two happened, and it's like the clash of Ifrit and the Phoenix. The initial interaction and the result of that. Like, for me personally, like Cornered, I think likes 16 more than I do. I respect 16.
Amazing. 16 was amazing.
Yeah, but that was a very
borderline the best Final Fantasy game.
I think for me, not that I did played it wrong, but I think that there were streamlined moments, there were down points for me for story pacing. They were great, but I think for me, like, it was different. Like 10 to me was from the start of like Tidus waking up here, meeting the team, going across the land, doing interactions, meeting Seymour tripping, marrying Yuna, save Yuna.
Absolutely.
We gotta get back on the mission, fighting Sin. Sin is your dad.
Square Enix is dropping the ball right now. There are two things that they needed to remake: Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 10. Everything else is questionable to me. You could remake 9. You could remake 6. You know what I'm saying? You could remake 11, 12. Like, remake Final Fantasy 10, and you are going to get sales. If you remake Final Fantasy 10, you're gonna get sales.
But I don't know if I agree with that, because there's the HD that I still see people playing on the 5.
That's because that's all they got. That's all we got. I got it too. I got it on PC. I got it on PC because that's all we got. If they were putting out, and I get it, Final Fantasy 7, last time we seen Final Fantasy 7, it was in pixels and polygons. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was tough, right? So that is a more drastic upgrade. But you give Final Fantasy 10 a full 4K, full PS5 top
facelift.
tier. Yes. Oh my God. Because that's the thing. Like, they don't need to do a remake with all these Final Fantasies. They don't need to. But I think they do need to for their best ones. I think their best ones deserve
There should be
that.
greatest hits.
Yeah. Because see, for me, I'm gonna always say, look, games, you can make the sequel. That's fine. But if you're not confident in the sequel, I'll take a remake. I will take a remake of the past glory. If you aren't confident in the future glory, I'll take a remake of the past. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're not making a new Knights of the Old Republic, if they're not making Knights of the Old Republic 3, I will happily take a remake of Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2.
But it has to be good.
Good as objective Anakin.
But
good as
from my point of view.
Good as a point of view.
Well put. But at the same time, there are staple things that make a good game, period, universally. I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
Gameplay, storyline, music, things have to be mid to peak. Don't remake it and John is hitting below its weight class. It's just that's a whole other thing.
Yeah. When you
know what I'm saying?
Remakes are tough to crack. You got the ones that try to do what the other one did, and then there's some that try to go away. Like Final Fantasy 7, I mean, they went completely away with the combat system.
They over here talking about, extended universe dreams and people really lived. Like, what I'm saying?
It's right. They did a little bit, but it's okay because they told the story well. The graphics are amazing. The gameplay is still good. When you do those things, you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll be all right if you do those things.
Yeah.
But if you go in the wrong direction, if you try to remake something and you drop the ball, and you're like, hold on, this ain't, not even is this not what I recall it to be, but this ain't good. You know what I'm saying? Then what are we talking about? You know, that's where it becomes an issue. So
speaking of follow-ups, I think we'll hit these 2 points and possibly get ready to wrap. Yeah. Depending on how these go, because I think like we as a podcast team ad nauseum, we can still wrap this episode up and come back at this again, because we still need to see where these companies are in a few months. And we're at this point of this podcast, we're halfway towards Game of the Year, and we usually do our big discussion with guests or amongst our own team of who should win, who deserves it, yada yada yada. We already have candidates. clear candidates.
We do.
You know, but last year I don't think we had clear candidates. We had an idea. Around this time now, we have 2025. We have clear candidates for that category this time. So it's really looking forward to that.
For which category again? I'm sorry.
I think we're just talking
Game of the Year. Game of the Year.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, last year we didn't know. This year we know what that category is about to look like. Right?
Well, it's a 3-person race.
I'm hearing like shout out to McNux in his stream. Split Fiction's on that list. Is that on the list for you?
Actually it is. There's 5.
There you go.
I take that back. And I haven't personally played Split Fiction, but everything that I've read and heard.
I've seen playthroughs of it, and it does look really good.
It Takes Two. My wife and I played, and we enjoyed it. So if it's anything like that and above, I would understand.
Everything I've read has said that it is, and that's it. So I think that is very fair for it to be in that category. I think we kind of know.
Claire.
Death Stranding. Yote already has a seat at the table, and it hasn't even
Death Stranding 2 already has a seat at the table before that even came out.
But it is out as of this recording. Thank you, noob.
But before it did, before it came out, it was at the table. Okay, you know why?
Yes, it was.
Kojima was like, "This game's too good. We're gonna nerf it because it doesn't fit my vision."
That was crazy news. That was crazy news right there.
You mentioned that. You know why? Because it takes mastery of craft to say, "I want you to experience this game a certain way, and I want my art medium to not be this mainstream hype consummation thing." He wants people to start it and ramp up. He wants your enjoyment to come over the time that you spend playing and appreciating art. That's what he wants. He's like, yo, people coming out the gate with this being at 100. There's a lot of hype behind it. He not for the rah-rah, whatever. He wants you to appreciate his art. That's why. And that's the difference. Hideo Kojima is the GOAT. GOAT-Jima. Okay? And this game is Game of the Year. Well, I'll say it's a candidate. Let me just, whatever. It's a candidate for Game of the Year.
Let's be fair. Right now.
Even I'm not going to slide Yote, because Ghost of Tsushima only lost because of The Last of Us 2. And Last of Us 2 was phenomenal. Wavy likes to talk shit about Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2 was phenomenal.
He just thinks it didn't deserve it over Tsushima. That's his point of view.
Both of them deserved it. And they both deserved it highly. But I think Last of Us 2...
The award has to go to one.
Well, I mean, that'd be cool if it was like, it's a tie. Two games win.
No. People would riot.
No ties. No, there is a clear winner and a clear loser. That's what it is. And it's okay. Because all the nominees can put out their Game of the Year.
I was going to say, you can get an award. You may not get Game of the Year, but you may get Best Action. You may get Best...
That's like actors and actresses Emmy nominated versus Emmy award winning.
Hey, but not everybody's nominated, are they?
Right.
But I tell you what, Death Stranding 2, there is no game like it. Just like when he put out Metal Gear Solid, no game like it. And Kojima constantly does that. Just like, oh my God, Studio Ghibli.
Hideo. Miyazaki.
Miyazaki. Yes, Hayao
Miyazaki.
Miyazaki with his statement on how there's all these things that come out, and they're just basing off of other things, but he bases his stuff off of life and going outside and doing things like that, right? Like Kojima's stuff, it ain't based on nothing you've seen before. It's not based on it's not based on it. You got the actors in the game coming out here talking about. Norman Reedus was like, yo, yeah, like I'm just doing my role, and then Kojima's just like, okay, now start crying because of like this baby and this big thing over here, and he's like, I don't know what's going on, like I'm just acting, like I don't know nothing, because there's this vision that he's putting together, and he just needs the pieces to make it happen. But it's people involved in it that don't really fully grasp it either. But it's this vision, and you sit there and you play it, and yeah, sure, at face value, it's some of it might stick, some of it might not. But his vision is creative, and it's art, and it's expression, and it is a product. It is a completed product.
I was going to say, if anything, I think he's one of those creators, and I can speak to this being one. I think he just wants it to be created. He's not really in it. I don't even know if he's really in it for the accolades. He's in it to see his vision done.
He wants to see his vision done, and he loves film, he loves art, he loves interactive element in games, and he doesn't take it all too seriously. He puts quirky things in there, right? Like it is his pure expression, and it's a beautiful thing. And again, like I will say it again, Death Stranding 1, Death Stranding 2, there you have played no game like it. Nobody has played any game like, people calling it a walking simulator. It's not a walking simulator. That's just what people like to say to hate. It's not a walking simulator. You spend time playing that game, you're gonna be like, wow. And if you sit and think about it, the amount of gameplay elements in the game, you're like, wow, I didn't realize why I'm spending 10 hours trying to deliver these packages across the country, and I'm sitting here worried because I have too much weight on my back and I'm trying to run downhill. And how can I use this vehicle when I haven't built roads yet? And how am I going to go and get to these people? And I need to connect these zip lines, but I need materials. Like, you sitting here and you're just like, oh, this ain't just a walking sim. But, oh, by the way, it's these bandits out here trying to take my stuff I'm delivering. So I need to actually know how to do combat or sneak past them, which is the staples is Metal Gear Solid, right? So it's he's got all these things that are a part of it. And at the end of the day, like, is Death Stranding and Death Stranding 2 the greatest games that have ever been made? I'm not going to say that. I'm a stan. But what it is a beautiful Hideo Kojima product and work of art. It is amazing. In my opinion, in my biased opinion, it's Game of the Year. In my unbiased opinion, I think we got to wait until Yote comes out. Because I mean, Ghost of Tsushima was the best game we've had in a while. And to be honest, The Last of Us 2, which, again, The Last of Us franchise, people have been slighting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, The Last of Us franchise is big time. That's big time. Last of Us 1 was big time.
We got shows.
And we got the shows big time.
Not shows.
The fact that is what beat Ghost of Tsushima. You know, because remember, Spider-Man was that year too, I think.
Spider-Man
I don't think it was.
Spider-Man was hyped up to be. I don't think it. I don't even think it was.
If Spider-Man wasn't, that's fine. But there was also Trials of Mana was there. And I thought Final Fantasy VII Remake was there, wasn't it? I think Final Fantasy VII Remake was there today.
No, not for the Yote year.
No, not the Last of Us 2 one. Maybe it wasn't. I don't remember what it all was.
Yeah, Trials of Mana wasn't there.
We've been doing this. Shout out to this. I want to note this point. We've been doing this for years. To Greg, guess what Game of the Year 2022 was? 2022. Yeah.
Don't tell me.
Wasn't that
no? Game of the Year 2022 wasn't that
Elden Ring? Elden Ring? Yeah, Elden Ring. Yeah.
Oh
We've been covering this. We've been covering this.
You're right. I didn't realize. Wow.
We've been covering this topic for 3 or 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's right. I forgot about that. Elden Ring was really a vibe at the time, and Elden Ring shouldn't have won Game of the Year.
No, it shouldn't have. But the one we were talking about was 2020 was when Last of Us Part 2 won Game of the Year.
I think 20.
And it shouldn't have won that year either. So
it should have.
But that's the point we're making. Wave, you late.
It's just fine.
But
it's just fine that it won Game of the Year.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Fine. It was a really great contest between that and Ghost of Tsushima. But
2021 was Take Two. 2023 was Baldur's Gate 3. And then last year was
Astrobot.
Astrobot, yes.
We could drop these other time. We can talk about Baldur's Gate 3 for hours. Oh my god.
And I think to the point, I know you say you have to get ready to go corner, but the one thing is I know we have to have an episode I think is worth of exploring Kojima's work up to this point in the importance of storytelling in a movie, like movietelling in storytelling in a game or a product.
I would happily spend hours talking about the story of Metal Gear Solid because oh my god,
I would say perhaps a way to co-opt it so it's not just a Kojima Glaze sesh is that we
why not? Why you say it? Why you say it like that's a bad thing?
Because there are other developers out there that are just as passionate about their work.
Sure.
And I think
No,
we should
yeah.
find other developers too.
I agree with
that
that,
can
Mark.
talk
I
about
agree with that, Noob.
that are
I agree with that.
really
Yes.
passionate about their work, that have been working in the industry.
Absolutely.
Masahiro Sakurai. All right, cool. So
Look, that's perfectly fine. This all comes from my personal bias
Yeah.
and admiration
I know.
for Hideo Kojima. There are so many other great creators out there, no doubt about it. Again, I will say though, you ain't never played a game like a Hideo Kojima game. I say that, and there are all these other. I see something similar. Ain't no game. I dare somebody to tell me what game Death Stranding is like. And don't point to a game that Hideo Kojima has made, like Metal Gear Solid 5, because that's what you can point to. You can say, oh, it's kind of got Metal Gear Solid 5. Yeah. Yeah, it got Metal Gear Solid 5 looks. That was the last big thing that he worked on before Konami was being stupid. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what I think is unique. But by all means, there's so many great ones. I joke about it all the time. Hideo Kojima is my personal favorite. But there are so, you're right, there's so many creators, so many.
And there are some creators online, content creators that have even kicked back that there are some quirks about Kojima that you know what I'm saying, like he's like a little hard to work
creator worth their
with.
salt is
Yeah,
crazy.
right. I was gonna say that's I expect that in the media industry generally. Like we see that. We see that from a ton of people.
Every creator worth their salt is a little crazy in the head.
Wow.
I would know.
I mean, if I had a super crazy creative vision and I wanted to see it through, and I was prideful about it, I would imagine somebody might be like, oh, he's not, the best to work with, or he's not budging on something, or trying to see my perspective or something. No, because I could see that. You know what I'm saying? As long as somebody is not flat out disrespecting or being hateful towards somebody or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Or like trying to ruin somebody's career, stuff like that. Like if somebody's not trying to do that,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, all right. But I agree. I think some of the most creative minds who have these visions, who want to see them through, I'm not mad at them being passionate and wanting to fight for their work. Now, I'd be mad if Hideo Kojima was like, yo, I'm gonna bury your career because you're trying to intercept my project. Now that's a little messed up. You know what I'm saying?
That doesn't sound like him though.
That part I really wanted to explore was like that one video I heard where he like the translation of like the translator wrote something in English or translated something in English, and then the next game he was like, he had it like the next game verbatim translation, whether the translation in English didn't make sense. It was something like you tried to translate, oh, he meant this, and Kojima was like, oh, no, like translate it in English to what exactly I said in Japanese, even if the English formatting doesn't necessarily make sense. It was something along those lines. Like, don't translate my work if it's not like, don't translate my work if it's not what I meant.
And as the creator, like that's to your discretion. Like if you want to do that, like you should be able to like to convey what you want to convey and to show what you want to show. Like it's like, and I'm telling you, like I think I'm the only person here who's played Death Stranding 1 or 2.
Yeah,
like,
you got me interested. You do when you talk, you have me interested.
Look, man, and again, I'm always say it's not for everybody, and that's like a lot of games. It's not for everybody, and it's not the greatest game ever. But what it is Hideo Kojima, and it is a work of art from Hideo Kojima. So I would recommend everybody to try it, give it a shot. But yeah, it's just I think it's beautiful. So I'm happy about it. I think it should be a Game of the Year candidate. This is all up to Ghost of Yotei. The reason why is because if Ghost of Yotei is great, it's going to be Game of the Year. If Ghost of Yotei is not great, now we got a battle. Now we got a battle between...
Is there anything else that's coming out this year that could actually threaten that?
Nope.
No. No, absolutely not. I'm sorry. And shout out to any other game developers that might watch our pod. Be like, hey. Be like, listen.
Right. I mean, look, put us on game. Let us know. Be like, oh, you didn't think about this? And then
please do. Absolutely.
Right.
What Corner said, like, we might not know about it because unfortunately, even if you're talking about a comparison of like big company marketing dollars too. So, yeah. In any case, what I will say is a shout out to Corner Fox for that point. He had to get ready to leave. The bar is set for Game of the Year, and I think, listen, all we can say is we see the candidates, and we'll see where it goes from here. We have our speculations. We won't drop them just yet. Cornerd has dropped his point of view. Couple points before we get ready to wrap it. We can expound on as needed. Getting to the Nintendo talk. As of this point in the year, in 2025, Nintendo Switch 2 has sold over 5 million units worldwide in its first month, makes it the fastest selling Nintendo console ever, breaking the previous record held by the original Switch, which in the Switch's first 4 days alone, in its first 4 days alone, the Switch 2 sold over 3.5 million units.
I was going to say, I thought it was more within a less time period, but yeah, no, I guess people really wanted to either get the new software or they really want another Switch.
And the jokes are online. The jokes are online where people are like basically paid for an improved version of something they already own. If you already owned a Switch 1, you know.
Yeah, well, that and Mario Kart, which is the only game out for it right now, specifically because I believe Donkey Kong
and the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes, the improvements.
The improvements.
But we've Donkey Kong Bonanza comes out this month, I believe, as of recording. But that's going to be another one of
July 17th.
Yeah, July 7th. Oh yeah, so that's and that was made by, of course, the same team that did Super Mario Odyssey, which I have to say, when I watched the trailer, I was like, this looks like Odyssey for Donkey Kong. Their blueprint was all over it. And but yeah, we got to see what it's about. It looks like a solid game. It does.
It does.
I played the demo when I was in Target. It's actually good.
They have demos in stores still?
Like that, so.
They have demos in stores?
They have the game showcases, yeah. They don't have the up on top anymore. I remember playing Melee when that came out. Oh my gosh. Those controllers got wore out.
Listen, we stopped dating ourselves for real. Like, these experiences that they've taken away from us. But that's cool. They're waving. Yeah. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, of course, issues with consoles reported. That's why I don't buy consoles day one, just because you got to get the the defects out there. But hey, shout out to anybody who has one right now. Frosty.
Shout out to me and the missus grabbed that day 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was a fun journey.
Have you got any issues yet?
No.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
See me in 6 months when the stick starts to drift. I don't know. They say they
I
fix
will.
that.
If it does, I will let you. I will let the team know. I'll let the internet know what happened to our Switch. You know, the one thing I will say, like when we bought it, we were offered, of course, the warranty package.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we took it. Yeah, we didn't take it, but I do think that though, if we do have an issue, it's definitely pushed by the company, encouraged by the company to basically come see me if you have a problem. You know, go to the third party blah. Don't get extra blah blah. Come see me.
Yeah, they might brick your shit if you do that.
Right, don't go to blah or you ain't got no more blah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Don't try to get third party whatever to get around this. It's us or nothing.
It is crazy though how many consoles have shipped, especially within the wake of the slight controversies that Nintendo has been getting in today, especially with them being able to remotely brick your console if they can't catch you tampering with it, which is kind of a privacy issue, but I get. You know,
I get it. It's a privacy issue, but I get it. I understand.
Get it. And then
to an extent, I get it. To an extent,
you know, with Mario Kart World being tampered with, some people are like, I just want a 3-lap race. I don't want to have to go across, you know, to do those. What do you call it? I don't want to have to like go across the open world to get to the next race, or I just want a circuit, just a normal circuit.
You do. It's another mode entirely. That's the thing. People are like, oh, what? Then don't go to the. Let me tell you something. I'm sounding like one of the old head bulls. Shout out to he passed away. Shout out to him that used to call in at my old job, and he and I used to talk offline. Where he said, "Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. There are modes you can explore in your game. Now, if the game is a mode where it's like all you have is the open world and you have to explore that way, by all means, crash out. The open world experience is a separate mode than the classic circuit modes that you can either stay on the same track or explore the other worlds if you want to connect them on tracks through the Grand Prix mode or the race mode. Like, please know exactly what you're talking about when you're talking about what a game does or does not offer you. I'm just like, it's the classic Mario Kart experience. You could play classic Mario Kart versus my wife and I versus each other all the time.
Who wins?
In the classic. Say what? Who wins?
Who wins?
Am I trying or not? No. But she wins. She's starting to win lately, but it's even. It's even. I'll be honest, it's even. You know, or one of us does the open world aspect, but that's open. That's, you know what I'm saying. So if somebody's complaint is that, you might not be looking in the right spot of the game, my G.
I just know that Nintendo did an update on it that some people didn't really like, but
Okay, about to double
What
check.
was that update again? 'Cause I remember seeing something about something before. I didn't like really read into it though.
yeah, I'd have to actually look it up, but it did deal with how I think track selection was done online and whatnot, but
Let's see what that is real quick. 2 essential secrets for winning a race. Nope. Review
Also
bombed.
Is he getting review bombed? Really?
Yeah. According to Game Rant 2 weeks ago.
They're not Nintendo fans. I'll tell you that. It's definitely not Nintendo fans.
Latest patch and updates and bug fixes.
I'll tell you, when Nintendo fans are eating this up right now, they don't care what. They got a new console. They are happy.
So, adjusted course selected in random when selecting race course as a wireless versus race. Okay. Made readjustments to fix an issue where rate fluctuations were sometimes displayed incorrectly in online play and knockout tour. Fixed an issue where you sometimes can't recover quickly after falling off the course in Dino Jungle. And fixed an issue where you continually hit the wall near the finish line of Boo Cinema when transformed into Bullet Bill. Wow.
yeah, I mean I can do due diligence on that and actually look it up, but
This is according to TechRadar.com.
Yeah, there was some buzz online just about an aspect
other
of the
things?
game that changed that some
Okay.
people did not like. But other than that, yes, I have no problem really with the Switch 2. We're gonna see if the price stays the same though as the year goes on.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, Nintendo right now, I hope they don't cash out all of their goodwill to try to stay on top of industry trends. Nintendo used to be, I'm going to use the term loosely. Nintendo really did used to be trendsetters, in the sense that they were the ones that marched to the beat of their own drum, but it does seem like now they are chasing after the dollar. They're chasing after what it seems like other companies are going towards, whether it be AI or methods of development or whatnot. We'll just see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I feel like Nintendo's always been like that though.
Like chasing after others? I didn't think so. They were the ones that first came up with motion controls in the sense of, way back in the day with the Super Scope and whatnot, but then also with the Wii, and that's where you got PlayStation Move and the Xbox Kinect. Those attempts. And then, of course, Switch, and now the handheld rally, which was trying to do, and PlayStation did do a little bit with the PSP. But you got to remember, Nintendo had a monopoly on handhelds for years, especially with the Game Boy line.
Oh, I was talking to my wife about that. Oh my gosh, dude. I know we've talked about this in episode. I know people probably be like, you sound like granddads at this point, but like the Game Boy, I had the red Game Boy, I had the Game Boy Color.
All the way up to 3DS. Or 2DS.
Yeah, dude. I had the Game Boy Color. I didn't have the Game Boy Pocket, but I was impressed with the design. That was just me though. But the idea of the Pocket was crazy, right?
The
Game Boy
I didn't have was the original. That was the only one.
Yeah, I had the original in red. It's still at my mom's house. I'm not gonna tell y'all where it is because y'all might try to go get it at my mom's house. But no, I had the Game Boy Color. I had the Game Boy SP. I wore my SP.
I wore several SPs out.
I wore
probably
my
like 3 of them.
Give whoever that was. They probably gave them a raise or whoever that was that said, well, let's put a light in the screen and make it a flip.
Mm-hmm. Pocket size. About yay big.
Listen, I mean, I had the Advance, which came before the SP, I believe. Back that was like one of the last things we had to do to try to get the attachments over your Advance to see at night, instead of catching lights as you're driving.
Which also use battery.
Batteries. Oh man, batteries. I think SP was chargeable.
Yes, the SP was the first one that was chargeable. Yeah, that was the first one. And then yes, the 3DS and the 2DS. Oh my gosh, love those systems.
Yes,
still have my 2DS.
Mega Man Battle Network 5 double screen DL. You had the access to the abilities at the bottom screen. Listen, man, you don't hear any other companies can talk about other than the Vita. That's a whole nother conversation about the Vita.
Vita, yeah, PSP too.
But that was only one. Nintendo had. We're talking like this is three generations.
It was initially one of my concerns when they went to the Switch, because I figured they were going to cannibalize their own success, which now with the success of the Switch and the Switch 2 pretty much put that to rest, because instead of having a home console and a handheld, they were just going to have one product. But it worked.
Success.
So
whoever figured out the innovations for that, shout out to them. But in issues like some people are already bored, I think at that point we can agree that that's a matter of personal preference.
Games haven't really come out for it. The two marquee games. The second marquee game is coming out on the 17th, so it's like, yeah, you gotta give Nintendo time to actually make games for it. Air Riders is coming out. That Bloodborne lookalike is coming out.
Oh, I forget what the title was, but that From Software game. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
starts
then,
with a D, I think.
Legends ZA coming out. I think it's like Dusk something. And then,
Dusk. I think Duskborn or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And then they just need new games for it. I mean, unless
Duskbloods. Mm-hmm. Let's be exact. Now, to your point, and I think we made this point earlier. I think when I was talking about when I did apologize for like retiring older franchises like Pokemon, Final Fantasy, things like that. Pokemon, we always had the conversation. I know we can talk about this to the day is ending, and we are blue in the face. Power World versus Pokemon and what we would want to do, and ZA finally looks like it's tackling that open world walking aspect that Pokemon should have maybe had a while ago.
Within a city. ZA, there's going to be...
And can't you explore in the previous, like the pardon my the Altria? I stopped playing Pokemon.
Legends
Arceus. Yeah.
You could explore, but they were maps. It wasn't like the whole map was super open world. It wasn't
sections. Like Breath of the Wild.
It wasn't like Breath of the Wild. You could go to separate different maps, and then you could explore in those maps, which they were fairly big on foot, and even when you were riding Pokemon. But what really gets me about Pokemon is now it's not just Pokemon that is really big in the monster tamer industry. I mean, you've got Pal World, you've got other things like I said, Digimon Story, Time Stranger. You've got other games that are coming out that are monster tamers that are challenging Pokemon's crown. Mm-hmm. And so ZA is just going to be Pokemon's latest until they try to get Generation 10. I think they're on Generation 10 now. Mm-hmm. And so, like, yes, they need to get there because there are other people coming for Pokemon's crown.
So we're in Gen 9.
Yeah, we're
currently.
Gen
9. And so next
over
would be
1,000 Pokemon. Over 1,000 of them now.
We've come so far from over 150 or more to see. So that technically that game that track is accurate. How far we did
back in the day when they thought they were going to end at Gold and Silver, but nope.
Nah,
anyway,
man.
So yes, I am looking at Legends ZA. In fact, this month I believe there is a Pokemon Direct. It might even be next week.
Let's see.
I believe.
Let's see before we wrap up.
Yeah, I want to say it's. If it's not,
here we go. Pokemon Presents event is scheduled for July 22nd.
22nd.
As of this recording.
Okay. I was gonna say if it wasn't the 17th, it was next week. Yep.
All right. We'll have that coverage on our threads.
I'll be watching
our points. That kind of thing.
They've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
They've been very silent. Anyway, yeah.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so. Well, like I say, for us and for you guys listeners, we talked y'all's ears off enough. And be sure to check out previous content that we've done here on the podcast and our overall content. Check us out all across the web. We are there, guaranteed. PHUCANAME. To see all of our previous content. We have more YouTube videos up, all of our previous audio podcasts. If you're on the move, enjoy the conversation that we are having with you and amongst ourselves about the nostalgia and what we can expect from gaming, anime, and different modes of content and how it affects our world overall. Squad, close out with your socials.
All right, well, this is the one true noob. As I said, creator of the Order Sanctus. Please pardon our deaths on the socials. We're actually getting ready to reformat, pivot, if you will, if you like entrepreneurial language. So I am trying to move it to a different medium. But fear not, I am definitely still creating that show, and it's going to be made. But we're just pivoting a bit.
Like Kojima, stick to the mission.
Yep, stick to the mission. If anything, I just like Kojima, I care about this world enough for it to be created in its best possible way.
I respect that.
I am taking my time with this, and I will go from there. But you guys will be the first to hear about any developments. Appreciate that. Appreciate you being a part of the team and a fellow creative in that way. As for me, Frosty Phoenix, you can catch me across the web, FROSTYPHENIX. I do voiceovers. I do things like, overall content. And you can just basically Google me and find all the content that I've created online so far. Our two other teammates, they had to run during the recording, but shout out to Wavy God. Find him on Instagram at WAVIIGAWD_. And Cornered Fox, which doesn't really do socials like that, but you can find him at Sonny Burns on Instagram or hit him through us on our social at Fukuname across the web. Thank you guys for joining us this episode, and we'll see you guys on the next one to talk about our favorite usual content. There we go. All right. Peace out, y'all.